If you want to be a part of the conversation before it happens here on YouTube, click that link in the description to join the free Courtside Financial Discord. What's going on, everyone? My name's Obi, and welcome back to the Courtside Financial Podcast, the podcast where we talk about business and technology. Now, I just watched an interesting video on YouTube. Urban guitar legend who is subscribed to the channel said it would be great for you to consider doing a reaction video to this well-known EV YouTuber here in America visiting China. He had a lot to say about NIO, which is very positive. So I went and watched the video. I didn't want to make it a full-time react in real time and have footage up on the screen just because it was 48 minutes. And you got to think about that if we're chopping down a 48 minute video and I'm doing pauses in between, and then I got to get it into Final Cut Pro, which is what I use for editing, and editing that would be a whole production and a lot of time. So I figured I'd just watch it for myself. Went through it, watched the entire thing, watched the ads as well because creators support creators. And he had some really interesting insights in the video. So that's what I want to talk about today. I want to give my thoughts. That's how I'm going to be reacting to the video. But this is going to be a super interesting episode. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Whether you're new or returning, hit the like button, click the notification bell icon, and leave a comment down below. All your engagement really does go a long way in helping out the channel. And after you watch this video, if you haven't seen his video, go check it out. Really insightful. All right, so without further ado, let's get into today's episode. So like I said, out of Spec Reviews, he did a 10-day trip to China where he really just tested out a lot of Chinese electric vehicles, and he scoped out the scene, to say the least. So everyone knows that I'm a NIO bull, but let's put that aside. For the purpose of this video, obviously we're going to touch on NIO, but what I'm about to share and the commentary I'm about to give is bigger than just one single company. This episode is about the future of the entire automotive industry, and what's happening in China right now is absolutely insane. So let's get this. Out of Spec Reviews, the YouTuber lands in China and he's immediately picked up by a Li Auto Mega. Now I've got to stop right there because this thing is ridiculous. We're talking about their first a pure electric vehicle, and the tech in this thing, when they mentioned the screen response time nearly matching that of Tesla, I was pretty surprised. And the suspension control was something interesting as well. Now, a lot of the things that he said in his video are things that we are aware of, me and most of my audience, just through research, but you know, it really does help to have an American be able to go over there and actually confirm these things, because I've actually never felt and touched these Chinese electric vehicles in the Chinese electric vehicle market that I talk about all the time. Obviously, I'm in America. I'm on the west side of the United States. So we talk about China all the time, manufacturing a lot of cheaper cars, but here's what really got me. He said that even the cheapest cars over there have fully integrated software systems. Think about that. Over here, we celebrate when a $50,000 car has a decent screen response time. But over there, everything, they're putting tech in everything, and it's top notch. Now let me tell you about something that made me laugh. They had to watch this wild safety video to get their driving permit. Picture this, they're sitting in the police station, probably jet lagged, watching what sounds like the most intense driver's ed video ever made. But you know what, all jokes aside, that's China. They take this stuff seriously. Speaking of serious, let's talk about Geely for a second. When they visited Geely's development center, it wasn't just another factory tour. This place sounds like the Silicon Valley of automobiles. Prototypes everywhere, constant testing, non-stop innovation. And here's what fascinates me the most. They're not just moving fast, they're also moving smart. You know how everyone says, oh, well, Chinese cars are just copies? Well, check this out. Geely has partnerships with Mercedes, Lotus, and even some Aston Martin DNA in there. They're taking the best of traditional automotive engineering and they're combining it with this insane pace of innovation. To me, that's not copying, that's evolving the game. Now, let me address something as a NIO investor. They drove the ES6 and they drove the ET7, and I'll say that I appreciate their honesty here. The ES6 didn't particularly blow them away, but especially with the suspension, but the ET7 stole the show. That's the Neo we know and love. When they took it on an 18-hour drive to Beijing, they showed exactly what the company or what the car could do. Let's talk about charging for a second because this is wild. They found a Li Auto charger pushing 340 kilowatts at a 70% charge. 70% is pretty crazy. That's not just fast, that's rewriting the rules fast. And they've got integration with WeChat and Alipay for payment. It's like in China, they're living in 2030 while we're over here stuck in 2024, and it's 2025 now. So you get what I mean. But here's what really keeps me up at night as an investor. They mentioned multiple full self-driving systems that are on par with Tesla FSD, if not exceeding them. In China, this isn't a premium feature that you pay $12,000 for. It's just something that's expected. The baseline is where our premium features are. Think about that. Something else that really struck me is the contrast in expectations. In the West, we're celebrating when an EV can go 300 miles worth of range on a single charge. Meanwhile, in China, they're focusing on an entire ecosystem. The charging, the software, the user experience. They're not just building the future of cars, they're building the future of transportation. And let me tell you all about these charging stations and parking garages. Get this, they're all built as bomb stations. Talk about thinking ahead. But seriously, the infrastructure they're building is incredible, especially in rural areas. They've got DC fast charging. We can barely get chargers in major cities here. Here's my take, and I want everyone to hear this clearly. The game is changing faster than most people are realizing. The Chinese manufacturers aren't catching up. In many ways, they're setting the pace. And whether it's through factories in Mexico, partnerships in Europe, or direct competition with us here in the United States, this wave is coming. The future of EVs isn't about range or acceleration anymore. It's about creating an ecosystem that makes electric vehicles the obvious choice for consumers. And right now, China isn't just showing us how it's done. They're lapping us on the track. Anyways, that's all for this episode of the Courtside Financial Podcast. If this episode got you thinking, smash that subscribe button, hit the like button, click the notification bell icon, and leave a comment down below. Let's get to 8,000 subscribers. We're almost there. We need less than 20 subscribers. Let's go. We'll see you in the next episode. This has been Obi on the Courtside Financial Podcast, signing off. Goodbye.